Hey everybody, today I am sharing 5 pro tips that will absolutely change your hair from breakage prone to mermaid long. And no, I am not being dramatic, been there, done that. So healthy hair starts where it grows, our scalp, of course. So we want to make sure that we keep our scalp very clean, aka cleansing is very important. We want to make sure that we don't get any buildup, exfoliation. And number 3, we want to make sure that there's hydration. Now, you may be thinking that you're doing these things already, but I'm going to tell you how I do them and how it has really been a game changer for me. The first one, when it comes to cleansing, I always double cleanse my hair with a good quality shampoo. So the first thing is we want to keep our scalps clean. I am going to insert a clip here from a hair surgeon who talks about how DHT buildup. DHT is the hormone that actually miniaturizes our hair follicles, and how he talks about the most important thing in hair growth and your journey is actually keeping your scalp clean. That means we need to make sure that whenever there's any kind of oil buildup, we do not allow that to build up to have DHT or malaesthesia. So here's Dr. Kopelman.
If you're experiencing hair loss, the best place to start addressing is in the shower. And the reason for that is because we get a buildup of sebum around the hair follicles. The sebum is rich in testosterone. That converts to DHT, and DHT miniaturizes hair follicles. So if you want to be proactive, what I recommend to my patients is washing your scalp once a day. Okay, once a day is critical. Now, not everyone can do that because you might have a hairstyle that does not allow you to do so. So I just recommend trying to do it more frequently. If you do that, it is one critical step for you to be proactive to address your hair loss.
Number 2, when I refer to exfoliation, I don't use any external products except for what God gave me, and that's my fingertips. So I gently massage my scalp every day. I put my alarm on my phone and I do this, and it actually has become quite therapeutic for me. Now, this isn't exfoliation in the general sense where I'm putting a scrub on my head. I don't do that, and I don't use any tools except for the pads of my fingers. Exfoliation in the sense that I'm referring to is actually a deep clarifying shampoo, and I only do this once every 6 to 8 weeks when I get my roots done, and it's a very gentle clarifying shampoo. And again, I discussed this with my hair practitioner. I know exactly what's going on my scalp. Now, a deep clarifying shampoo, I would not use this often, but that's what I mean by exfoliation. I mean that we are just taking off any leftover residue or any leftover creams that shouldn't be there. And the third thing I mentioned was hydration. The oils on our scalp are produced naturally. They're given to us by the divine. They're given to us by nature. So I actually want them on my scalp because that is hydrating my scalp. That is doing something good. So you may think it's the antithesis of what I mentioned earlier and what Dr. Kopelman said. Absolutely not. What we're saying is that you use your own sebum, okay, to massage your scalp. Tomorrow's hair wash day, so I'm going to have a little bit extra oil in my head right now. And what I would do is I would just make sure that all of that hydration, because that hydration is what my scalp needs. If my scalp didn't need it, it wouldn't be producing it. Now, we don't want an overload of this, but what we want is to make sure that all of those oils are beautifully distributed on our scalps. That is our food for our scalp. I never use additional or external oils. I don't believe in that. I keep things very, very simple. And what was a game changer for me in this regard was learning, first of all about this and changing the products that I use and how I use them. For example, making sure I use good quality products and making sure that I am distributing them correctly when I'm cleansing, deep cleansing, or I am masking. Number 2, I really touched upon it number 1, so I'll keep it short. It's washing smarter, not harder. So again, you don't want to use any external tools, including our beautiful nails. Like, I make sure that they are filed. I do this before I go in the shower. I make sure that they are filed and soft. I do not want to scratch my scalp, and I also don't want to use my nails to do anything like this in the shower. I'm always using the pads of my fingers. And again, I am shampooing twice. The first shampoo will remove all the excess oil. And what does that mean? We only need to be shampooing when there's oil. And that's why there is no hard rule about when we shampoo. I just finished producing a video where I compared expert advice from dermatologists, trichologists, herbalists, formulators, chemists, and also influencers. And I have to tell you, not one of them will have the answers for you, because their fields of study are all different, their areas of expertise are all different, and they all have like a sort of end and beginning to their authority. The reason I'm bringing this up is because if you ask one of those specific professions or professionals about when to wash your hair, they're all going to give you a different answer. But the answer lies in you. My scalp produces oils at a different rate than your scalp. And the key is, as Dr. Kopelman told us, try to wash your hair 2 to 3 times a week. However, if your scalp has not produced oil in that time, you're not washing anything else. That's what shampoo is about. It's cleansing the oils from your scalp. So you need to make sure that you have ample oil to cleanse your scalp. And the first one, like I mentioned, removing the oil. And then the second one is actually really cleaning your hair. Just gets it really clean. And remember that we want to use good quality products here. Good quality products are more concentrated than very inexpensive, let's just say mass-produced products that have a lot of fillers, which give us the illusion that our hair is cleaner because bubbles. No, your hair will only get that beautiful lather and bubbles when it's clean. So the first time when you're washing out the oil with professional products, don't expect there to be any lather. It doesn't mean the product is bad. It means that you're just wiping away the oil. You may get a tiny bit. And then the second round, you are actually cleansing your scalp and you're going to see that beautiful lather. When you see that lather, you know your hair is clean. So make sure that you get a good quality product that's concentrated, and all you need is this much. So that tells us that you're actually saving money because you are using less product, and it just feels really, really good on your scalp. You know the good stuff when you try it. Number 3 is the Silk Secret. I never did this. In fact, this was always very odd for me. I never knew what to do with my hair when I went to sleep. I didn't know. I was so confused until my really hair healthcare journey started about 5 or 6 years ago. So basically, I'm either going to do a pineapple bun, I'm going to do a low braid, or something that's very safe. But the Silk Secret here is always like the silk accessories on my head, as far as the scrunchie, the silk pillowcase, and then the silk bonnet. I also have a tubi or a toca, depending on where you are in the world. That's that knitted contraption, because I can use that and then put my silk bonnet on top. But the silk or satin or mulberry silk secret, whatever you want to use, it really does help you. First of all, it's comfortable when you sleep. And second of all, it will really help you with any breakage or friction at nighttime. Number 4, and this is probably my favorite, it's basically feeding your hair from the inside out. Now, I host a travel culinary show between Greece and Canada. I'm in my 8th season right now, and I have learned quite a bit from professionals on either side of the Atlantic about nutrition, and especially studying nutrition from these professionals in the Mediterranean. And again, you need to feed your hair from the inside out. That's why I don't believe on putting any products here on my scalp. I'm keeping this clean, but I'm giving myself proper nutrients like protein, because we need protein like eggs and lentils and fish, because they really are the builders of the structure of our hair. And years and years ago, I didn't used to eat fish. I didn't used to eat eggs, and it was a complete game changer for me. My optometrist taught me all about fish and omega-3s right from the source. And not only did it lubricate like my eyes, which was the reason we started on that, but also my scalp, my hair, skin, everything was just more beautiful with eggs and fish adding into my diet. I always ate lentils because I am Mediterranean, so I grew up eating a lot of lentils. Iron and zinc. I actually don't take supplements for this. I just make sure I get it in spinach and pumpkin seeds. And again, these are DHT blockers, and this is why these foods are really important, the zinc and the iron. Again, if you have a deficiency, go see your doctor and see if you need pills. Number 5, when should we be trimming our hair? I wouldn't trim consistently, but I definitely would trim strategically. And I like to do this probably every 6 months. It depends what phase you're in, but remember that split ends are never, ever, ever getting back together. So once they're split, they need to be cut, and don't pull them apart like that. I know it's tempting. I used to do that too. Don't pull them apart. And the nuance here would be, if you have more split ends, you actually do need to trim more often because you need to get rid of them. But if we take a step back, if you actually have moisturized hair, oiled ends because there's nothing connected to our ends, so they're always going to be drier. It's the longest part of our hair, nothing to panic about. Even I have a little bit of dry ends, and I am so meticulous with my hair, and I'm getting my trim probably in a couple weeks. This is where I think language actually helps us. Use the term dusting. Now, for my face framing layers, I don't call it a dusting. I touch up my layers, and I always say, do the same pattern, just touch up the layers so they look nice and fresh, and then I need a dusting on the bottom. Sometimes you need more than a dusting if you have more split ends, but the key to avoiding the split ends, once again, is to make sure that they are moisturized. And here's your bonus tip. Be patient, but be consistent, and do not examine your hair every day. I know when I was going through several disasters in the past, you're so mortified. You want to look at it and see if something's happening. Look, your hair on average will grow like 1/2 inch a month. So what I would do is I would take pictures and I would really analyze it once every month. But if you're doing these steps and you're not analyzing it every day and you take a look every month, that's when I think that you are going to see some results, which then gives us confidence and motivation to keep going. So there you have it, 5 life-changing, without being dramatic, tips that'll get you from shoulder length hair to hopefully Rapunzel hair. Remember, we always want to take care of our roots, our mids, and our ends, because that's how we're going to see the growth. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and when you comment, please let me know where you are from around the world. I always love to hear that. Take care, everybody, and I will see you in the next one.